Hello, it's Brent here with a video tutorial on rounding decimals using Scratch. In this tutorial, we're going to be remixing a project and finishing it off. I'll just walk you through what this project actually does at the moment. So if we jump over here to the stage, you'll see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables here, and you can see those in the data section of the Scratch project. So I've got tens, units, tenths, hundreds, and thousands. Should be pretty familiar that these are different place values. The idea of this project is that you can use these sliders to change the number in that place value. Alright, so you can use that slider, and then when you press the button next to it, it should round whatever number that has created to the number. So if we press the green flag, we'll have a look. It says our starting number up there is 46.547. If I press the rounded tens button, I would expect this to be rounded up to 50. So let's have a look. Rounded to 50, beautiful. And then if we were to press around to our ones, we would want to round to the nearest unit or to the nearest one. And that's obviously dependent on the next place value down or to the right. So let's press that, and I would expect this to be 47 because we know if the next place value is 5 or above, we round up. So I expect this to be rounded to 47. So let's have a look at that. And boom, there we go. Alright, so as we skip down these place values, we need to finish. I'm going to press this button. And look, nothing happens, and nothing happens, and nothing happens. So your job will be to program the last 3 buttons in this project, and you might even have to think about what you'll do with this final button here. Alright, so let's have a little look at how I went about doing this, and so that you'll be able to finish the rest of them. So let's jump into our tens button. So here we go here. These are our scripts, and it's pretty straightforward. So I've got an event here when this sprite is clicked. We're making a comparison, okay? So we want to, if we're in the tens, we look at the next place value across to the right or down to determine whether or not we round up or down. So if we know that if this is 45 or above, we need to round to 50. If it's below 45, but above 40, then it will be rounded to 40. So we know our rules for rounding, so we just need to create that logic here. So I've gone ahead and said, okay, if our units, and these are our units here, are greater than 5, so at the moment they are, or they're equal to 5, so 5 or over, and there would be a quick way to write this that you might want to do, then we want to round up. And to do that, we get our tens number. If we look at if I double click that, it might work. Well, our tens number is 4. We need to round up, so we need to add 1. So it'll be 4 plus 5, 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. But that doesn't tell us the number 50. That just tells us that we've got 5 tens. To get to our number 50, we've just got to multiply that 5 by 10, because 5 times 10 is equal to 50. So if we look at that, rounded to 50. And if I take that number out, that number 10, that multiplication, you'll see that this will just literally just add an extra 1 to whatever value that tens is. So if we look at that, rounded to 5. So that's why we need to multiply by 10 for that one. If we're beneath, if our units are below 5, so let's try that now. So we'll make them 4, so that'd be 44. We'd expect this to be rounded to 40. So otherwise, we just need to take our tens value and multiply it by 10. So let's have a look at that. And boom, that works pretty well. So let's go have a look at our units button now. So same deal, what you can do, when this sprite is clicked, same business is going on. But we just got to change a few things up here. So now we're not focused on comparing our units, we're focused on looking at the next place value down, which is in this case our tenths. So if our tenths are greater than 5 or our tenths are equal to 5, then we want to round up, don't we? We want to round up to the nearest unit. Alright, so otherwise, yeah, then we would round down. So let's just unpack this line of code here a little bit, and hopefully that will give you enough support to be able to go off and do these ones here. So if our tenths are greater than 5 or equal to 5, so here let's just look at our tenths right now. Look at the number there. So that number is actually equal to 5. So this condition will be true. If our tenths are greater than 5 or our tenths are equal to 5, well, our tenths are equal to 5, so this is going to be true. We want to say rounded to, and then we've got to do some bits. Now these joins are just joining words or numbers together. So I've got this rounded to, and I want to join to it another kind of word or another value that I want it to say. So we've got to join whatever our tens are, so that'll be 4. And I also want to create another join here and get our units plus 1. We don't need to do any multiplication here because our units represent units. We don't need to multiply or divide anything there, but we do need to round up if it's greater than 5, okay? So let's have a look at that. I'll press that button and I'll expect us this to be 45, and it is. Unreal, okay? If our tenths are less than 5, and you could even write that as an if statement if you want. There's a few different ways that you can do this. Then we just want to use the unit value that is there. So this I would expect to be rounded down to 44 because, well, look at our number, 44.4 tenths, 4 hundredths, and 7,000. So there we go, 44. Cool. All right. So your job will be to go ahead and program these last 3 buttons. As I said, this one might be a little bit trickier for you. You might have to do some thinking about that, or if it's even possible. What I suggest you do is open up your backpack, grab this piece of code and chuck it in your backpack. Then you'll need to look at the next button that you'll need, so tenths, and you will probably grab that out of your backpack and put it in there. And you'll need to go ahead and do some adjustments to here. So you won't be looking at your tenths anymore, you'll be looking at something different. And you'll need to go ahead and make some adjustments to this statement for your tenths button. It's going to look a little bit different. Okay, you'll need to use the join, more joins to extend this out, and my advice would be to use this duplicate function. Once you've figured out the logic for this top one, then you can just like duplicate it, pop it there, get that one out, and pop it in the next one, okay? That'll work out better for you. So what I'd like you to go ahead and do now is have a go at doing these next 3 buttons, and the rest of the video I will just show you solutions for those buttons, or what I did. Now yours might be different, and that's perfectly okay, but yeah, I'll go ahead and show you what I did. So stay tuned for the solutions. Thanks.